the issue of the border, and there's some people in the media, some people on certain political persuasions that just dismiss it as kind of a Texas problem or an Arizona problem. But I'm here to tell you, when you don't have control of your own border, that's an American problem.
That was Governor Ron DeSantis earlier today on the campaign trail, unveiling the first major policy of his presidential run. He says if elected president, he would secure the nation's southern border, pledging an emergency declaration and use of force if necessary.
All of this comes as DeSantis' chief GOP primary rival touts his own border plan, and Democrats here at home continue to condemn the governor for the immigration policies he's gotten pushed through in this past legislative session.
Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders takes a look at the immigration debate.
Well, it's a new week and another out-of-state trip for Florida's chief executive. Governor Ron DeSantis spending Sunday and Monday in Texas, surveying the border and announcing his big immigration plans for 2024. On a hot Texas day, Governor Ron DeSantis addressed the hot-button issue in Republican politics: securing the nation's southern border. The Republican Monday revealed his plan to make it all happen.
What we're saying is no excuses on this. Get the job done, make it happen. We want results.
His laundry list of goals include declaring a national emergency, a crackdown on cartels, limiting asylum claims, completing a border wall, and allowing the use of force against drug runners who DeSantis says are cutting through the structure already there.
If somebody were breaking into your house to do something bad, you would respond with force. Yet why don't we do that at the southern border?
DeSantis also went further, seeking to eliminate what he called birth tourism. The governor said he wanted to force a reinterpretation of the U.S. 14th Amendment and end birthright citizenship. Meanwhile, back at home,
whether they're Republicans or Democrats, we are seeing opposition to these types of policies.
Democrats like Rep. Anna Eskamani warning immigration reforms DeSantis has already put in place are hurting more than helping. She's among those warning the governor is too extreme and driving entire families, undocumented or not, out of Florida, weakening the workforce.
I think it's another example of how the Republican-dominated legislature has gone too far.
Even so, political experts think DeSantis' real goals Monday were to get publicity, plant a flag on immigration, plus hit the current administration while differing himself from frontrunner Donald Trump. That's as Trump's spokesman called DeSantis the Fisher-Price version of the former president, who released his own immigration blast on Monday.
Under my leadership, we had the most secure border in U.S. history by far.
Trump touted his work on the border wall, promised to, quote, declare war and defeat the cartels, plus what sounded like mass deportations if reelected.
We will immediately begin the process of fully securing the border and removing the illegal aliens Joe Biden has unlawfully allowed to break into our country.
DeSantis also took a swipe at Trump on Monday. While he said he largely agrees with the former president on border security, he said a lot of Trump's promises were, quote, the same things that were said back in 2016. That's the latest out here at the Florida Capitol. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.
Forrest, thank you. Earlier today, reporters in the nation's capital asked the Biden administration about DeSantis' border plans and rhetoric. While the White House press secretary said she was bound by the Hatch Act and not able to weigh in on any campaign matters, she defended President Biden's immigration policy. Listen.
He has secured record funding for border security. He has record number of agents and officers securing our border and is implementing policies that have resulted in significant drop in unlawful border crossings since Title 42.
Meanwhile, there's a lot going on nationally with immigration, but there are also some big changes right around the corner here in Florida. Forrest touched on briefly. And Jameson, I know you have more on that.
Yeah, we certainly do, Wendy. And several new state laws will go into effect on July 1st, including one with wide-ranging impacts for undocumented people living here in Florida. It includes higher penalties for knowingly transporting or hiring undocumented people, e-verify screenings for new hires if a company has over 25 employees, invalidating law degrees and out-of-state driver's licenses of undocumented people, and requiring that hospitals collect immigration status. This while the 2021 census report found there were nearly 2 million immigrants living here in Florida. So to go deeper on the impacts of the new laws and what they could have, I spoke with immigration attorney Renata Castro this afternoon. She tells me this really was a political move for Governor DeSantis and not well thought out. As we all know, immigrants help fill a large void in some crucial industries in our state, like agriculture and construction. But many must now weigh their options as they're afraid for their future.
Most people have chosen to remain in the state, continue to do business, continue to live here because they have roots. They have kids in school, they have businesses, they create jobs, they pay taxes. But they are afraid of what's going to happen come July 1st, whether or not they're going to be detained.
Renata also tells me that the people who need to be afraid of this law are business owners, since there could be large financial impacts as they look to fill job openings. Another important thing here, Renata wanted to send a message to undocumented workers. She says the state of Florida does not have the power to deport anyone. That power comes exclusively from the federal government.